Hi there, this is Max Harrick Shenk, and I'm going to read you an excerpt from a work in progress. This is Chapter 1 of a novel I'm working on entitled Switch. Chapter 1. See, I couldn't get my belt right. It was a stiff brown leather number, maybe 3 inches wide. And at first I had it slung low on my waist, riding the points of my hip where my waistband met my shirt over my belly, around where the belt loops would be if my clothes indeed had belt loops. But those few inches of white dress shirt tail sticking out from under the belt bugged me. I tried slipping it just a tad lower, but that wasn't right either. I could tell without even stepping over to my full-length mirror. And then as I tried forcing it even lower on my hips, the tip end of the belt flopped loose and slapped the front of my right shin. Might want to try buckling that belt. But I didn't want to buckle my belt into place until I was sure that it was just so. I grabbed the flopping tip end of the belt and threaded it back through the buckle and looped loosely, then shimmied it tight down over my hips at their widest, 34 I somehow knew, so that when I finally buckled it, the prong would be in the last possible hole, the belt extended to its longest. Again, I could somehow tell without even turning slightly to face my full-length mirror, tilted down slightly to reflect me shoulder to foot, that whatever else might not look right here, at least the belt was in place. When in doubt, work your way out from the accessory. Now, about those flopping loose white dress shirt tails. While I liked the look of a loose-fitting dress shirt gaped open down to my chest with the tails hanging free at the bottom, something wasn't right, and I knew I didn't want to lose the look of that belt that I'd finally gotten just so. The shirt tails had to go. I very carefully backed the tip of the belt part way out of the buckle and then inserted the copper prong into that last punch hole and let go, looking down at my hips and waist and belly. Success. And, riding that low, the belt was no hindrance to my tucking those loose shirt tails in. Even with a tight belt, my waistband underneath still had a little play. So I inhaled, chest out, shoulders up, belly sucked in, and pushed the loose shirt tails down in behind the waistband with my flattened fingertips. That did it. Belt was comfortable and positioned perfectly, no loose shirt tails, and the material I was tucking down into, slightly worn and soft but still heavy black denim, was substantive enough to hold the shirt tails in, but not bulge, crinkle, or wrinkle if those shirt tails got bunched up underneath. They felt a little bunchy, but I could just reach up underneath and yank the tails down from below. Oddly enough, I knew I could do this without even reminding myself of it. Kind of, oh well, if it bunches up, I'll just reach up in and give it a downward tug or two. Natural, like I'd done this a zillion times before. I exhaled, and in one quick ballet move, how'd I get so graceful? I turned to my right and grabbed my cardinal red cashmere V-neck, then paused. It was one of those April mornings that could be described as either warm or cool. Cool, that is, at 6:50 a.m. as I stood there getting dolled up, but what would it be like at 11:15 or 1:20? I sighed. Maybe I'll ditch the dress shirt, which is kind of heavy, and just go with the sweater. No. If I wore the white shirt under the sweater and it got a bit too warm, I could take off my sweater, yank those shirt tails back out, and that alternate look would be fine. But if I wore only the sweater with no shirt underneath, I'd be stuck. And as Margot said one similar warmish morning, no one wants to be stuck in a sweater. Of course, there was always a V-neck tee. I turned to my right again, set the sweater on my dresser top, then yanked my shirt tails back out from under my waistband and unbuttoned my dress shirt, peeled it off and tossed it on my dresser top, joining the heap of 3 other rejected tops from earlier in the process. Then, without so much as glancing at the mirror above the dresser, I opened the top drawer and pulled out one regulation white Hanes boys V-neck t-shirt, just a little tight and starting to get just a little transparent. Mom, that shirt is getting worn out. Me, yep. And just a little too low cut at the bottom of the V if I positioned it properly. I pulled it on, arms and head popping out simultaneously, and then gave my head a shake to retousle my hair. I felt like I didn't even need to look. It felt right. I inhaled again, sucked my belly in, flattened my fingers, and tucked the ends of the t-shirt in behind the waistband. Okay, now the sweater. I grabbed the bright red sweater, lightweight wool, just fuzzy and cozy enough for an April day that could go a dozen different directions. Hot, cold, bright, overcast, rainy, windy, snowy, who knew? And pulled it over my head and onto my arms and down over my chest and belly and hips. And, as if to affirm that the t-shirt and sweater combo was a better choice than either the dress shirt and sweater combo or just the sweater on its own, a breath of breeze ballooned the shears behind me at my bedroom window, billowing them out like sails before pushing them aside and sighing slightly cool but warming spring air onto my body. Perfect. I exhaled and then, refusing the mirror yet again, looked down over myself. Should the sweater go under the belt? No, I liked the way the end of the sweater just barely overlapped with that denim waistband. Or did I? I shimmied the belt back up a couple inches to the points of my hips, turned to my left, and glanced quickly at the mirror. Nope, sloppy. But also, I like my belly. I complained to Margot sometimes about feeling fat, but looking at my reflection, I liked the little soft implied curve and firm roundness that was slightly accentuated when the belt rode low. Also, when it was riding up on my hips, it looked like I was trying to hide something that I didn't feel like I needed to hide. I slipped the belt back down into perfect position across my hips. Yes. Exhale. Then finally, I took all of myself in via the reflection, shoulders to toe. The sweater collar looked great. The V-neck of the tee was hidden, so it looked like I was wearing only the sweater, and the sweater was tight in just the right spots and a perfect, comfortable fit elsewhere. I scanned down, chest, belly, hips, legs, and then back up to my chest. My boobs look great, I thought. And right on the heels of that thought came another one that wasn't scared or nervous or weird, but rather curious, and one that was oddly striking me for the first time. I'm Brian Presley. What's everyone going to think today when they see that I'm a girl? I inhaled with one last glance in the full-length mirror, didn't look at my face, and immediately thought, well, this is the way it is now, and took one last focused look at my full round boobs and the 2 inches of cleavage crack peeking up out from the point of that V-neck. Good work. Then down again to my cute little belly, my round hips, and that perfectly positioned belt, my tight but not too tight and short but not too short denim skirt, then lightly exhaled and turned back to my dresser for my hairbrush. And, as so many of my stuck classmates in so many of my creative writing classes used to write when they were backed into a corner in a story, then I woke up and it was all a dream. This has been Chapter 1 of a work in progress called Switch. I'm Max HARRICK SHENK, the author. I'm going to show you now the books that I have previously published. If you want to catch up, I'll show them in sequential order. This first one is called What's With Her. It's a collection of stories spanning the whole timeline of my story universe. The second one is the first novella in the sequence. It's called Meeting Margot. This is called You Don't Think She Is, which takes the characters into middle school and early high school. And then the serialized novel is called Meeting Dennis Wilson. They're all available in Kindle ebooks and also in hard copies in print if you want a copy. If you want any information about it, just let me know. Max Schenk Writes, MAXSHENK Writes, all one word, @gmail.com, or look in the comments below for a link. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my work. Talk to you soon. Keep reading. And if you're a writer, keep writing.